to have that rebuttal from you. But this controversy, of course, raging through here in the national capital, and questions are being raised as far as safety and lapses on the part of the administration of jails like Tihar is concerned. But I thank you both gentlemen for joining us here on this broadcast with your perspective. We are shifting focus now to more news that's coming in. Sources have now told CNN News 18, this is as far as the controversy of Pawan Khera being deplaned is concerned, that the deplaning was possibly due to an FIR against the Congress leader. Indigo is speaking to the ground staff that was present there because remember, it was not just the deplaning of Pawan Khera, but there were consequent protests that took place on the tarmac as well. Sources have now revealed to CNN News 18 that the airline had no role in deplaning Pawan Khera or deboarding him. It was the Delhi police, in fact, that had reached the tarmac, and all questions need to be asked of the Delhi police of what exactly transpired. Ridhima, my colleague, now joins us for more on this. Ridhima, what else have you gathered from your sources within Indigo?
Poonam, as you rightly pointed out, this was a 60024 which was supposed to take off from the national capital on its way to Raipur, but before the flight could actually take off, Pawan Khera of the Congress party, in fact, was deplaned. Sources are now telling us that the airline actually had no role as far as the deplaning of Pawan Khera is concerned, because these are questions that are now being raised by the Congress as to why he was deplaned. So the sequence of events, what we've gathered from our sources looks like this, but the police officials were already at the tarmac. They, in fact, had identified Pawan Khera. They wanted Pawan Khera to be deplaned, and after he was deplaned, there was a lot of ruckus that was created by rest of the Congress delegation because they wanted to protest and they wanted to deboard the flight as well, which they eventually did. So all of the rest of the Congress delegation, which included leaders like Randeep Singh Surjewala, Supriya Srinath, the Congress spokesperson, others, all followed Pawan Khera and they deplaned and deboarded the flight on the tarmac as well, and then started protesting at the tarmac, which eventually led to a massive delay. Indigo is still speaking to ground staff to try and understand what was the issue, but sources are also indicating that this could be because of an already existing FIR against Pawan Khera. The flight has already been delayed. But the larger question also is, which is going to be very important to track here, Poonam, is that in a case like this, what happens to the other passengers who in fact have been waiting as the Congress continues to protest? Under this, there are already guidelines that if one particular passenger inconveniences the others, there can be action taken, though nothing has been confirmed by the airline yet. We're still awaiting an official confirmation.
Right, Ridhima. Like you said, what exactly happens to those people who are bearing the brunt of this protest that continues on the tarmac here at the Delhi airport? Do stay on with me. Let's listen into what Pawan Khera and the other Congress leaders had to say after he was deboarded.
मुझे भी नहीं मालूम, मुझे कहा गया आपका सामान दिखवाना है, मैंने कहा मेरे पास कोई सामान है ही नहीं, हैंड बैग है, बोले नहीं इस बार आप आइए, कंफ्यूजन है। नीचे आया तो कहा कि आप नहीं जा सकते, अभी डीसीपी आएंगे आपसे मिलने। मुझे खुद नहीं मालूम, पिछले 20 मिनट से डीसीपी की इंतजार कर रहे हैं। क्या नियम है, क्या कानून है, क्यों मुझे रोका जा रहा है, मुझे नहीं मालूम। इंतजार ही कर रहा हूँ डीसीपी साहब की आ जाए फिर देखिए।
हम लोग 6204 इंडिगो की फ्लाइट से दिल्ली से रायपुर जा रहे थे। इस फ्लाइट में मेरे कोलीग पवन खेरा जी मेरे साथ थे, यहाँ पर जीएसओ है, यहाँ पे रणदीप जी है, काफी सारे लोग हम लोग थे कांग्रेस के। और पवन खेरा जी को आकर बोला गया कि इनका बैग कुछ एक्सचेंज हो गया है और इसलिए उनको उतारा जा रहा है। जब ये नीचे उतरे तो यहाँ पे पता चला कि डीसीपी ने इनको डीप्लेन किया है और कोई नोटिस सर्व करने की बात है। हमारा सवाल ये है कि ये किसके ऑर्डर से हो रहा है, क्यों हो रहा है, हमारे महाधिवेशन में ये व्यवधान क्यों डाला जा रहा है और ऐसा पवन जी ने क्या कहा है? अगर पवन जी ने कुछ कहा तो आप कार्रवाई करिए। डीप्लेन आप किस धारा के अंतर्गत कर रहे हैं? और हम लोग तब तक यहाँ खड़े रहेंगे जब तक हम सब लोग फ्लाइट में वापस इंक्लूडिंग पवन खेरा जी बैठ नहीं जाते।
Now, it's been a few hours, a few minutes at least, since that drama unfolded on the tarmac here at the national capital, and that continues. Unfortunately, those people who are the other passengers who are inside that aircraft continue to bear the brunt before Indigo decides what next. My colleague was reporting from on ground there when the Congress leaders decided to deplane along with Pawan Khera and sit there on a dharna right there on the tarmac. Take a look at this report.
दिल्ली एयरपोर्ट पर कांग्रेस के नेता हंगामा कर रहे हैं, नारेबाजी कर रहे हैं। उसकी वजह यह है कि पवन खेड़ा को डिबोर्ड किया गया है, ये कह के कि पुलिस आपको नोटिस सर्व करने आ रही है। इसी फ्लाइट में पवन खेड़ा बोर्डिंग कर चुके थे। कांग्रेस के तमाम नेता यहाँ पर आपको दिखाई दे रहे हैं, लेकिन उसके बाद उनको सामान पहचानने की बात कह के नीचे उतारा गया। फिर पुलिस यहाँ पर आई है और पुलिस पवन खेड़ा के साथ देखिए इस वक्त बातचीत कर रही है, चर्चा कर रही है। यहाँ पर अगर आपको मैं तस्वीरें दिखा सकूं, देखिए यहाँ पर पुलिस है सादी वर्दी में और एक वर्दीधारी पुलिसकर्मी भी यहाँ पर आया उनको नोटिस सर्व करने। पवन खेड़ा यहाँ पर दिखाई दे रहे हैं आपको, और ये जो ग्राउंड स्टाफ है वो चारों तरफ आपको नजर आ रहा होगा। फिलहाल जो फ्लाइट है वो यहाँ पर खड़ी है, तमाम जो यात्री हैं वो नीचे उतर चुके हैं। कांग्रेस के नेता नारेबाजी कर रहे हैं और इस वक्त आलम यह है कि दिल्ली से रायपुर जा रही फ्लाइट अपनी जगह पर खड़ी है और नहीं जा पा रही है।
News coming in now, and Indigo, which is the airline, has now issued a statement. They have come out and confirmed that one of the passengers was deplaned. They haven't named Pawan Khera, but we do know the Congress has confirmed that it was Pawan Khera who was deplaned from that flight from Delhi to Raipur. The flight is delayed, is what Indigo has now come out and confirmed. Ridhima, my colleague, joining us for more details. Now, Ridhima, even as Indigo has issued this statement, if you could put this in perspective for our viewers, when exactly this flight was scheduled to leave and how long has it been since the other passengers have already been waiting for?
Poonam, as you rightly pointed out, now an official statement coming in from Indigo. It's been a couple of hours since the flight was originally supposed to take off and has now been delayed. This is the confirmation that's coming in from Indigo. Indigo is saying they're now in the process of putting the flights together and taking off, but they're still waiting a clearance as far as the ATC is concerned. But as far as the statement is concerned, as you rightly pointed out, they haven't named Pawan Khera, but this is in fact being confirmed by the Congress. This in fact confirms what we were putting out for our viewers a short while ago as far as what the sequence of events looks like. Pawan Khera and the other Congress delegation had cleared security. They were seated in the plane about to take off when there were police officials who wanted Pawan Khera. They identified Pawan Khera and asked him to deplane or deboard. Following this, the other Congress leaders also followed him. This, in fact, has been confirmed in the Indigo statement as well. This, of course, has led to an eventual delay of the flight. As I pointed out earlier, Indigo now is in the process of putting the flights together and waiting for the clearance to take off.
Right, just to put this in perspective for our viewers, the flight was scheduled to depart New Delhi at 11:45 a.m. It's 1:17 as we speak and as we bring this broadcast to you. Even now, that aircraft is still on the tarmac here at the Delhi airport. Protests continue there with Congress leaders who are travelling with Pawan Khera sitting on the tarmac protesting. Pawan Khera himself was waiting for the Delhi police to come and question him because that is the reason why he was deplaned. Remember, this comes at a time when 2 FIRs have been registered against Pawan Khera over the comments that he had made about Prime Minister Modi's father. Congress claims that this is the BJP using tactics because they are rattled by the Congress party. Even as that political drama and that dharna continues on the tarmac at the Delhi's IGI airport, there are several other passengers on board that Delhi-Raipur flight who have been waiting patiently for an hour and a half, at least, waiting, not knowing what happens next. Ridhima, now Indigo has come out and said that they regret the inconvenience that has been caused. But do we have any inkling of when this flight will eventually take off?
I've spoken to a few people in the airline, Poonam, and this is exactly what they're saying. They're choosing their words very carefully at this point. We do know the flight was supposed to take off 15 minutes before 12, at 11:45 a.m., but we still don't have a clearance is what they're saying. They're still trying to put all the passengers in place, and they're still waiting a clearance from the police as well. Because as we pointed out, what happened is it's not just Pawan Khera who in fact deboarded the plane or was asked to deboard. The other Congress delegation also deboarded, and they refused to get back into the flight till the time that answers as to what is happening with Pawan Khera. So the airline is saying they're still awaiting clarity on that line as officials are concerned, and that's why the flight is still at the tarmac. As we go back to what we were discussing earlier, this is going to result in a lot of delay for the other passengers who possibly had business or work trips to do as far as Raipur is concerned. But the flight currently is still at the tarmac, is delayed. The airline says they're awaiting a clearance to take off.
Yes, just stay on with me. Congress's Manikam Tagore is with us on the phone line. So thank you so much for speaking with us. Before I get into what exactly is transpiring, I just want to ask you, are you with the Congress delegation at the IGI airport in Delhi?
No, I'm not there in that flight. I'm on the way to the airport because I'm taking the next flight. It's
Sure.
3:30 flight to Raipur.
Sure. So, Mr. Tagore, we do know that there are several Congress leaders, the entire delegation, in fact, who decided to deplane along with Pawan Khera. They're now sitting there on protest. For how long is this going to go on?
We need to understand that there is no FIR, there is no warrant that's shown it. They are not shown any kind of proof of any kind of document also. They just inform that your bag is, you have to identify the bag, and Mr. Pawan Khera was requested to come down, and then illegally they told thing that CISF and they told that Delhi police wanted to have a word with you on some other case. Then they told thing that the FIR is there and UP Assam police has come. So this kind of things inside the airport, if this flimsy ground, the way the government is misusing the agencies, whether we are going towards Hitler Raj, that's the question we need to ask it. Whether it's inconvenience for the passengers, it is inconvenience for everybody. Why this government is hell-bent on doing these kind of cheap things? I am unable to understand that the CISF is involved, Delhi police is involved, Assam police is involved. Means what else? Without a piece of paper, without a warrant, without any kind of notice. Where we are heading for it? This is very unfortunate, and we have to be responsible, and the government has to behave the way. They can't be so arrogant the way they are thinking that they are going to be permanently in power. They can't misuse every agency.
Sure. Sure, but Manikam Tagore, do you think the tarmac is the place for raising these kind of questions and raising this kind of protest? There are other passengers, there are other people in this country that are being inconvenienced. This was the time by which the flight should have landed in Raipur.
Well, that's the correct thing. That's a good question you are asking. But the problem is that if you have to ask the CISF, CISF work is to protect the air tarmac. And their duty is to protect the CISF. CISF can't be just playing in the hands of Mr. Amit Shah and Himanta Biswa Sarma. They can't be just buffoons of these people. They have to behave. They have to, without a warrant, without a this thing, anybody can ask you that thing that get out of the flight and you are going to be arrested by the Assam police. Without any warrant, without any kind of piece of paper. Where we are heading for it?
Sure.
We are very much pained that all the passengers are Congress delegates. The problem is that every flight to Raipur is full of Congress delegates now.
Sure. Manikam Tagore, do stay on with me. I have BJP's Anila Singh also with me on the phone line, and I'd like her to respond to the allegations that you're making. And Anila Singh, if you heard Manikam Tagore, he says, yes, unfortunately, some people are being inconvenienced. But what about the misuse of agencies which is taking place under the Modi government, especially against the Congress party?
What misuse of agencies? Pawan Khera is the same lunatic spokesperson of this confused party who tried to humiliate Narendra Modi's parents, father, and the other time he was insulting his mother as well, and his leaders do the same thing. And they are trying to gain some sort of sympathy when any agency is trying to do their job. Is he sort of a bloody VIP or what? That he cannot be deplaned? What does he think of himself? He might be some sort of a pampered worker of this confused party, and Rahul Gandhi might be loving him and caring him, but it doesn't mean that he is pampered by the agency itself. So if he has done something wrong and agencies know that they have to question him, they have to interrogate him, then definitely agencies have got all the rights to deplane him.
Sure, but Pawan Khera, Anila Singh also coming out and saying that it's been over 1 hour. The police officers that deplane me are saying wait for the competent authority or the DCP to come, but nobody has come and questioned me. So it's really not the Congress party that is holding the other passengers to ransom, but it is the Delhi police. How do you respond to that?
See, Delhi police is not going to pamper him. He is no VVIP because of his being there. That means that police is not able to work, or whole of the system of this country has come to full stop because the lunatic Pawan Khera is being deplaned. The thing is, whenever the agencies have to, whatever they have to, and when the officer arrives, he has to ask certain things from Pawan Khera, they will do it.
Sure. Sure. So, Anila Singh and Manikam Tagore, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. The political war of words between the Congress and the BJP only escalating, but unfortunately, it is all the other passengers on board the Delhi-Raipur flight that continue to be cooped up in the aircraft on the tarmac here at the Delhi airport for over an hour and a half. But let's listen in to some reactions coming in from the Congress party.
ये इतना बड़ा अपराध तो नहीं है कि आप प्लेन्स उतार लें। और जहां तक कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लोग शुरुआत तो इन्होंने की, सोनिया जी के बारे में पता नहीं क्या क्या कहा और राहुल जी के बारे में क्या क्या नहीं कहा, हमारे पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री मनमोहन सिंह जी के बारे में क्या क्या नहीं कहा, लेकिन हमने तो कोई कार्रवाई नहीं की। और शुरुआत तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी की तरफ से हुई। यदि ये मर्यादा खुद नहीं लांघते, प्रधानमंत्री जी ने क्या कहा कि अमित शाह जी ने क्या क्या, उनके राष्ट्रीय नेताओं ने क्या कहा, सारे लोगों ने हमारे राष्ट्रीय नेताओं के खिलाफ में ऐसे सदन के भीतर और सदन के बाहर भी इन लोगों ने बात कही है।
और रणदीप सिंह सुरजेवाला जी उनके साथ जा रहे हैं। इन लोगों को असम की पुलिस लेकर जा रही है। ये वही असम की पुलिस है जब निहत्थों पर वार होता है तो चुप रहती है। मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ, उन्होंने कौन सा ऐसा जुर्म किया है कि इनको यहाँ पर डिटेन किया जा रहा है और असम की पुलिस हरकत में आ रही है? ये तानाशाही नहीं तो और क्या है? ये बात करते हैं अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी की। ये आपकी अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी की असलियत है। और अगर आपको एक्शन लेना ही है अब शब्दों पर, तो खूनी पंजा पर, कांग्रेस की विधवा पर, जर्सी गाय पर, 50 करोड़ की गर्लफ्रेंड पर रेनकोट पहनकर नहाते हैं हमारे प्रधानमंत्री को कहने पर पहले नरेंद्र मोदी जी को गिरफ्तार करिए और फिर किसी के खिलाफ एक्शन लीजिएगा। निजी आक्षेप आप लगाते हैं। नेहरू का सरनेम क्यों नहीं यूज करते जैसी ओछी बात भारतीय संस्कृति के खिलाफ आप बोलते हैं और हमारे नेताओं को यहाँ से अरेस्ट करके ले जा रहे हैं। एक स्लिप ऑफ टंग हुआ, उन्होंने अपने आप को करेक्ट किया। आपने तो पूरे होशो हवास में इतनी भद्दी और गंदी बातें कही हैं कि आप मुंह छिपाने लायक नहीं है।
That was Congress's Supriya Srinath there, even as the Congress delegation along with Pawan Khera continues to protest on the tarmac. The allegation is that agencies are being misused by the BJP against Pawan Khera and the Congress, which is why they are now protesting. Pallavi, my colleague, joins us for more on this. Now, Pallavi, we had seen the kind of political war of words that had erupted over Pawan Khera's comment. He first clarified, he said it was a slip of tongue and then he got confused. He later then brazened it out as well, where he said that even the BJP makes comments like this. But there are 2 FIRs that have been filed against him, and in those cases, action is now being taken.
So what the Congress party is saying, a couple of things. First of all, the thing is that Pawan Khera has been taken inside for questioning, and the Congress party is doing a show of strength, which is why Randeep Surjewala, who along with KC Venugopal, Supriya Srinath, and all of them are taking the same aircraft to come to Raipur for the plenary session begins tomorrow, have decided to have a show of strength, show of unity as well. And so what is now the allegation coming in from the Congress party is that, okay, you have filed an FIR against him, then if you really wanted him to come for questioning or you want to detain him, why is it not done according to procedure? One, he's gone through a security check, so there was clearly no lookout notice which was given to him. Second, if you also have to serve detention orders, nothing has been given in writing to anyone from the Congress party, nor to Pawan Khera himself. Therefore, it was done arbitrary manner. Initially, they told him that there was something confusing about his luggage. When he denied that he didn't have any luggage, what they were talking about, they told him to wait to say that a DCP is going to be coming. And he was waiting for at least an hour. That is what the Congress party is telling us. And then finally, when that hangama happened, he's taken away inside for further questioning. So according to the Congress party, this is being specifically targeting of Congress leaders, especially those who raise questions over the Prime Minister and the Adani issue, and this on the eve of the plenary session, which begins tomorrow, because the party plans to come out with a blueprint for 2024. And the party is saying that just a few days back, for no reason, there were raiding done on the treasurer and the spokesperson of Chhattisgarh Congress, only because they want to arm twist the Congress party and to put a fear in them.
Right, so the political war of words there only escalating between the Congress and the BJP. For the moment, Pallavi, thank you so much for getting us the latest. We'll keep a track of that controversy and much more.